Hi, welcome to this walkthrough of MooTasky. I'm Shaun Whynacht. I'm the creator of this application. And I created this because in my marketing business, I found I've used a lot of different tools, a lot of project management systems. And while they did offer task management, they offered a ton of other stuff that I didn't need. So I wanted a lighter version. So I thought, let's start from the ground up and let's eventually add in different elements that are unique to my type of workflow. And what I found was many other businesses and solopreneurs just like me found these tools useful. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk through the interface here and I'm going to show you what it is that this can do. So here we are inside the interface, and MooTasky, you may be asking, our company is called Blue Cow Marketing. The Moo is a play off of that, and Task, obviously MooTasky. That's where that came from. So when we built this, there were two core aspects that we wanted: task management and time tracking. So that's what we built initially. And then it evolved over time using the things that came up that were like, okay, this is a part of our business that we need help with. So we built it. And a lot of other people that have been testing this out are finding it the same usefulness in it. So let's take a look at the task. First thing you're going to say is, okay, this is dark, right? It's the dark mode. So we put the little option to flip between dark and light, depending on when you want to use it. You can just flip between those in here. So let's take a look at task. First of all, we are in a sandbox account here. So everything you see here is not live client information. It's just sample data that we're playing with here. So each task in here has to be created to a specific client. So we got our client section in here. So we can go in and you can, let me move the Loom timer out of the way. So you can go in here and you can add a new client in here. So this could be, Jeff's landscaping. And then, any email notifications for Jeff you want to put in here if you want to notify him of certain things. Is there a Google Drive that you set up that you want to have access to files for him? Then you can do that, put the URL in there. And then for the billing side, what do you charge per hour for Jeff? So it's like $60 an hour. You can go ahead and do that. Now, I'm just going to go grab a Google Drive link, and then I'll show you how this all works. Okay, so I just went to my drive and I created one called Jeff's Landscaping, and you can put them anywhere you want. I use shared drives for clients myself, but what we're going to do is we're going to get copy the link that we have there, and we got a link to the clipboard. So we're going to go back here and we're just going to paste it in there. All right, and we're going to add Jeff's Landscaping to that. Now, what that does is it creates this link here that I can quickly click on and open up Jeff's Landscaping and go directly to that. Now, any tasks that I create for Jeff's Landscaping will have that little icon next to it, and I can click on it and access the files. So that was a key part, is we wanted to make sure that we weren't having to create another place to upload files, because a lot of times Google is the place that we go. So if you're not a Google person, you can put any link in there. We just called it Google. So if you're using Dropbox or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just a hyperlink out to that repository that's there. All right, so we got that set up. Now we're going to go look at tasks. So within this, we can go and create a new task, and we can give it a title. So it could be do social posts, right? We'll keep this very generic for this. Give it a description, create 10 social posts. Now, a reference link could be a link to a document or anything else that we want to put in here. We're going to go and pick Jeff's Landscaping. Who's it assigned to? Me, because I'm the only one in the application. So I'm going to go assign it to myself. And you can assign it to multiple people. You have it on the team. And we'll pick of when it's due here and the priority, right? That's pretty high. Or if it's a recurring task, you can go and put that in there. So a lot of times as a small business, there's things that you do over and over again, and you want to have recurring tasks in there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create that task. And now it's in there for Jeff's Landscaping. So as you go through this, you can see, the different tasks, and you can break it down by doing the work for them. Now, let's say that you do a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting. You have a transcript of that. Now, I just generated one with AI because I didn't want to pull in client stuff here. But what this is basically a call, simulate a call transcript between us and a client named Mary who has a accounting business. So what we're going to notice if we go in here is up in the top right hand corner, we have from transcript. So if we bring that up and we just paste that in there, and we go extract tasks, our integrated AI is going to look at this and it's going to come up and say, okay, here are the tasks that it pulled out from that meeting. right? So we're going over here and we're like, okay, this is Mary's accounting, and we can quickly scan through this and say create custom review link. Okay, we already did that. We don't need to do that. Request review from 10 clients. Okay, perfect. Email nurture sequence. Yes, we don't want to do that. And this one here. Okay, so now we're going to add those 3 tasks to Mary's task list. So we come in here, we look at Mary's accounting, and there's those 3 tasks added in here. Okay, so pretty easy ability to add in different tasks for this. So now we go in, we're looking at the task, we bring it up. We can add subtasks in here. So this is like the nurture sequence. Okay, so it could be draft the first email. And we're going to go and add plus those in there. If we got multiple people, we can actually assign those to other people on the team. So you got your primary task, and then you get your subtasks that are in here. And then there's the ability to comment, right? So we can go in and we can comment on those. So let's say we're going to do some work on this task and we want to start a timer. So now we can run a timer on this task. We can go over and we can start to do the work, and we can come back and we can stop that timer, and we can add and log the minutes to that project, right? So we can go in here and, okay, this was like, 10 minutes, and we'll log that time to that. So now it's starting to build upon that task. Now, once you're completed that task and you do this, you can say, is it billable or it's not? It's going to show you how much has been built up. And we'll say, okay, we're going to throw another hour on there. We're going to complete that task. All right, so now we're starting to build the tasks in here. Next, we're going to go with the time report. The end of the month comes and we're like, okay, what's the time we did this month? So we can go in here, we can break it down by client, and we can see in here, the report. So we know we had 1 hour and 10 minutes for Mary, so that's what we're going to invoice. Or we can download that report if we want to actually send it to them as an invoice, if you want to do that as well in here. So that's all obviously built in. Next is templates. Now, this was a key part because there's a lot of times, at least in our business, where we're going and doing a lot of content for people, and what it comes down to is creating repeatable tasks and things like that. So what we want to do is be able to create a task template. So in here, we can go create our first template, and we're going to call this one here social media audit, okay, or whatever it is. It can be anything in your business. And then this is the task title for when creating. So this is the audit. What's the description? We will audit your social media. Reference link, and in here, all the stuff. So subtasks, it could be run AI research on the business. It could be search through social media. Right, for the sake of this, we'll go develop report. Okay. You need the option to share this with the company or only you, so every team member can build their own templates, or you can share it with other people on the team. And then we're going to go in here and say no client, because we're going to load it whenever we want, and we're going to create that task. So now it's in here. So now we're going to go in and we're going to say, okay, we're going to go create a new task because we have a new client. So we're going to load from that template as a social media audit, and we're going to assign it to Jeff's landscaping, and we're going to be due by, we're going to make it, a couple days, right? So we're going here. Now what it's done is it's created that task with those items that are in there. So it's going to save you a lot of time for that. Now, the support ticket side is something that we're still working on as a new release. So that's why you're seeing it in here, but we're just building that out at this time. Next, we're going to look at some of the integrations in here. So because we use GoHighLevel, we're working at putting a direct API connection into GoHighLevel. Slack notification. So if you want to get notified in Slack every time that there's a new task or a new comment or anything, you can go in here and connect your Slack. If you're building out any kind of outside connections and you need an API, you can go here and you can have your own API connection as well. So if you're using Zapier, Make, or end-to-end, that's all going to be in here. Maybe you're going through this application, you're like, hey, this would be great if there was a new feature. Well, we have a feature suggestion part in here that'll show any suggested features that would show up in here as we work through that. So that is, the suggested feature part's down on the bottom. You can type in here, and then the feature suggestions would show up in this part. The last part is in the top right-hand corner is the Pomodoro timer. So if you're using that type of function and you want to go in here and set your time, you can go ahead and do that. You can do 5 minutes or 25 minutes in here, and you can start it, and it'll tell you how many sessions you've completed in that workflow. So that is MooTasky and what it can do. And we priced it very affordable at only $7 a month. I love the app. It is a PWA, which means that if you open this on your phone and you save it to the desktop of your phone, it'll actually work like an app in there, so you can bring it up and use it in that way. So love to know what you think of it, and hopefully you become a client.